Why losing stubborn belly fat is hard and how you can finally burn it. Have you ever felt like no matter how hard you try, the fat around your belly, love handles, or thighs just won't go away? Well, you're not alone. Many of us have been there, frustrated by how stubborn certain areas of fat seem to hold on, even as we try countless strategies to burn it off. The truth is, you've likely been misled. The idea of spot reduction, the notion that you can target fat loss from specific areas, is a myth. And if you've been chasing after this elusive dream, it's no wonder you're struggling to see the results you want. You might have even tried endless crunches, planks, or bought creams and supplements that promise to melt fat away from one particular area, but they just don't work. If they did, we'd all be walking around with six-packs from laughing at the ridiculous claims of fitness gimmicks. It's time to face the facts and understand why fat loss is more complex than we often think. But don't worry, we'll show you how to tackle this problem and finally burn that stubborn fat. Here's what you need to know. The truth about fat loss: it's not about targeting one spot. Fat loss doesn't happen in just one place. It's a whole body process that occurs at once, but in different amounts depending on your unique genetic makeup. Essentially, your body decides where it's going to burn fat first, and unfortunately, you have no control over it. For some people, fat seems to melt away from the face or arms first. For others, it may come off from the legs or stomach first. But here's the thing: those areas you care about the most, like your love handles or thighs, are typically the last to show any visible changes. And that's why so many people get discouraged and quit before they see results. It's a tough pill to swallow, but it's reality. Let's break it down. Why your stubborn fat is hard to lose. You've probably heard the saying, fat comes off where it wants to. And, unfortunately, it's true. The stubborn fat that tends to hang around in certain areas is deeply influenced by genetics. Some people naturally carry more fat around their midsection, while others may store it in their hips, thighs, or buttocks. Even the fat around your neck and face can become more noticeable as you gain weight. Ever noticed your face puffing up after gaining a few pounds? That's your body's way of letting you know you're holding on to a little extra fat. But here's the kicker: when it's time for fat to be burned, these spots are usually the last to go. Why? Because your body has preferred spots to store fat, and those are often the last areas to lose it. This process, known as fat distribution, is driven by your genetics, which determine how and where your body stores and sheds fat. So, when you start a fat loss program, the areas you wish to target first, your belly, love handles, or thighs, will likely not be the first places where you see visible changes. Instead, your body will start burning fat from areas that aren't necessarily the ones you're concerned about. It's frustrating, but it's biology. The calorie deficit, your key to burning fat. The real secret to losing stubborn fat is simple: calorie deficit. That's right, the only proven way to lose fat is by consuming fewer calories than you burn. In other words, you need to burn more calories than you consume. This may sound simple, but it's much harder to execute consistently. You might have heard about exercise routines, supplements, or even detox teas that promise to speed up fat loss. But let's get one thing straight: no exercise, cream, or magic pill will target fat from one area. These are all short-term fixes that don't solve the root problem. But here's the catch: when you first start seeing fat loss, it's probably going to show up in areas that you don't care about, like your arms, face, or legs. And this is where many people fail. They expect the fat around their problem areas to shrink first. When it doesn't, they get impatient, discouraged, and quit too soon. But if you just stick with it, your body will eventually target those stubborn spots. Building muscle. The secret to shaping your body while you can't control where fat is burned from: one thing you can do is build muscle in the areas where you want to see improvements. This won't speed up the fat loss in that specific area, but it will help tone and shape the muscles underneath the fat. The result? Once the fat starts coming off, those areas will look more defined and sculpted. For example, if you're trying to lose belly fat, training your abs with exercises like planks and crunches will not burn the fat directly from your stomach. But it will help define and strengthen the muscles underneath the fat. Similarly, if your thighs are your trouble area, doing leg exercises like squats and lunges won't directly burn fat from your legs, but it will build muscle in the area so it looks more toned and strong once the fat starts to reduce. And, if you're hoping for a quick fix for face fat, sorry to say, there's no such thing as a face workout. The only way to reduce face fat is through overall fat loss. So, keep focusing on the bigger picture. Stay in a calorie deficit, build muscle, and be patient. The fastest way to burn stubborn fat. So, how can you speed up the process of burning stubborn fat? There are two main strategies. 1. Create a calorie deficit. This is the most important factor. 1. Without it, you can't burn fat. 1. Calculate your daily calorie needs and make sure you're eating fewer calories than you burn. 1. You don't need to starve yourself, but you do need to be mindful of your portion sizes and food choices. 1. Focus on whole, nutrient-dense foods like vegetables, lean proteins, and healthy fats to keep you satisfied while still staying in a deficit. 2. Incorporate strength training. Building muscle through strength training exercises will help tone your body and improve your metabolism. 2. While it won't directly target fat from a specific area, it will make you look leaner and more sculpted as the fat begins to disappear. 2. Include exercises like squats, push-ups, lunges, and other compound movements that target multiple muscle groups. Why patience is key. Here's the hardest truth about fat loss. It doesn't happen overnight. The process is slow and steady, and it requires patience. If you're expecting instant results, you're setting yourself up for disappointment. But if you stick with it, you will see progress. The biggest mistake most people make is quitting too soon. They give up right before they would have seen results. If you want to succeed in burning stubborn fat, you need to stay consistent with your calorie deficit and exercise routine. Over time, you'll start to notice changes in your body, and when those stubborn fat areas finally start to shrink, it will be worth every ounce of effort. Conclusion: it's all about consistency and patience. Fat loss is a journey, not a destination. If you've been struggling with stubborn fat, it's important to understand that no quick fix exists. The real secret is creating a calorie deficit, building muscle, and being patient as your body does its work. Remember, fat loss happens from the body as a whole, and the areas you want to target won't shrink first. But if you stick with it, your hard work will pay off. Stay consistent, keep training, and trust the process. Your body will thank you in the end. Don't give up. The key to success is perseverance.